ladies and gentlemen. I'm Andy Chapman. I'm the Chair of Trustees of ColaLife. We are a relatively new and very small charity which already has a very wide reputation and is having a huge impact. The idea behind ColaLife is based on three very simple and very powerful facts. The first fact is that wherever you go in the world, even in some of the most remote areas of the developing countries, you can generally buy a bottle of Coca Cola. The second fact is that in sub-Saharan Africa, on average, 1 in 7 children die before their 5th birthday, and that much of this death is caused by preventable diseases which are remediable by simple and relatively cheap medicines. The third fact is that although this has been identified as a real problem for a very long time, little or no progress has been made on it since the Millennium Development Goals were agreed in 1990. So 1 in 7 children dying before the age of 5. Kind of looks like that. The reason it happens is because in the rural areas in which ColaLife is going to be working, the medicines which would allow death from things like dehydration from diarrhea to be prevented are often not available. There are public health clinics, but they lack the resources, sometimes the logistics or the finance to ensure that the medicines are got to where they need to be. Despite that, you can get a Coca Cola almost anywhere you go. So the essence of the Coca Cola idea is the space between the bottles in a crate of Coke. We're going to use specially designed aid pods, which look a bit like Toblerones on steroids, to transport dehydration salts, zinc, education materials to some of the most remote rural communities where they're needed. The thing that allows this to happen is the secondary distribution network that Coke uses, which is constituted of a very large number of profit-motivated small entrepreneurs and retailers who use a whole variety of different means to get Coke from the wholesalers to the village stores. So far, although ColaLife has only been in existence from being an online idea in 2008 to becoming a charity in the last 12 months, we have already won the funding for our first trial program, which is going to start in Zambia next month. This will deliver anti-diarrhea kits in our aid pods using the existing private sector network of small retailers and entrepreneurs. They will make margins on delivering these aid pods. It will add value to the crates of Coke that they're delivering. And we will introduce the aid pods at the wholesaler. We're going to use the trial to determine the ability and willingness to pay of the new mothers who are the end consumers or end users of these aid pods. And the idea is that we will also determine the level of subsidy that's needed centrally to make this work, so that once we know what mothers are willing and able to pay, we'll be able to determine, based on that and based on the margins that the distributors need to make to incentivise them, we'll know what level of subsidy is required to make this work. We're going to use social marketing and we're working with a local partner organisation called Keeper Zambia to do this, to generate the initial level of interest and education and information amongst the communities that we're going to be working with, so that they get the hang of what these aid pods are and how they can be used, and to generate the initial demand. So, as I say, excuse me, our trial starts in Zambia next month. We've already got support from a large number of large organisations, including the UK government in the form of DFID, Johnson & Johnson, SAB Miller, who are the local bottlers of Coke in Zambia, Camesa Trademarks Southern Africa, who are a transnational semi-government organisation, UNICEF and the Zambian Ministry of Health. However, we are a new charity, What we need is core funding. In our last financial year, our turnover was about £10,000. We think that over the next 12 months, we're going to need about £15,000, £5,000 to help us generate an income support, sustainable income generation plan, and another £10,000 to pay for basic overheads. So what we're asking you for is to help us turn into a sustainable plan over the next year. Once the trial has happened, the plan is to take this distribution network and mechanism to a much larger scale in many other countries in southern Africa. That's where it's going over the next few years. Thank you very much.